Thanks for entering the crypt with us. We're Bone Patrol. I'm Aaron.
Chris.
Tyler.
And today we're going over something a little sensitive. This episode's going to be a little intense, maybe a little disturbing, so we're going to say viewer or listener discretion is advised before listening to this episode.
I actually broke into Tyler's apartment and I opened his journal and I had the same warning at the beginning of it.
Yeah, whenever I write, I always put that.
Whenever you write?
Yeah, like my papers, like all throughout high school, I was like, yeah, you guys better be mature.
He's got a tortured mind.
Reader discretion is advised. And it's Tyler's just book report from 5th grade. So today we're going over something that's happened pretty recently. Am I right?
It was, if I remember correctly, it happened in 2012. But there's a new series on Netflix that brought our attention to it, and it's kind of bumping right now, so we wanted to hop on the train.
So this story starts on May 29th, 2012 in Montreal, Canada. A janitor working for a local apartment complex stumbled upon something haunting. While taking the garbage out to the alleyway dumpster, the janitor saw a suitcase by the dumpster that had been sitting there for several days. Upon further investigation of the suitcase, the janitor noticed a foul smell from inside. Unaware of what he was about to see, the janitor opened the suitcase. Inside was a decomposing torso with no arms, no legs, and no head. The torso had nearly 50 stab wounds and had already started decomposing. Where did this body come from? Well, let's find out.
He just opens it up and he's just like, yuck, I'm putting that back. Oh, gross.
Oh, man, I thought I would find some CDs in here, man. Dang it.
And this starts off the case of, who is it, Christopher?
Luka Magnotta.
Ooh. What was the Netflix thing called?
So it's called... It's called Don't F with Cats. And so we wanted to do a podcast on it because we wanted to cover it in case you are because it is pretty mature content. There's a lot of language. It's got some hard scenes to watch if that bothers you. So we wanted to cover it with as much detail as possible without you have to actually go and see it. Keeping it PG at the same time.
We'll put a link so you can, if you really want to find it, you can find it. So this all starts back on December 21st, 2010, right? This video kind of shows up on the internet called One Boy, Two Kittens.
It's adorable.
Oh, man, I love it. Oh,
kittens.
Video. I love kittens, though.
No. I want to step back and just verbatim, Tyler says, I love that video. Whoa!
I love kittens.
This video is very disturbing and it's very sensitive. The video...
There's a train passing.
Choo-choo.
We're going to let it pass. It's passed.
Oh, right. This video begins with two small kittens sitting on a bed. And the person recording, he sets the camera down, or they set the camera down facing the kittens, and then they enter the frame. The individual is wearing a green hoodie with the hood up so you can't see their face. And the person begins to play with the kittens and pet them. Shortly after, he just decides to put these kittens inside of a plastic bag, like normal kitten play.
Hey, I just noticed this cat fits in this bag. Check that out. Oh, wow.
And then naturally, like anybody would do, gets the vacuum and seals the bag shut and suffocates the kittens.
He's trying to preserve its cuteness. He doesn't want it to grow older. He wants it to stay small and cute, right?
I mean, that's like next level taxidermy right there.
Whoa!
Yikes.
This video, obviously, because of its gruesome and disturbing nature, it spread like a wildfire across the internet. And it was showing up everywhere you could look. And obviously, as fast as it was showing up, it was getting taken down just as fast. But for how fast it was spreading, they couldn't contain it because people... Well, it happens a lot with videos these days. If something comes up, you can tell by watching videos, like, this is going to be big, this is going to be taken down. People just immediately start making copies and saving it to their computers. So it's virtually impossible to kill a video these days. And I guarantee if you go and look for this video, I guarantee you could find it somewhere.
Plus you can, what is it called, like the Wayback Machine or something on the internet where you can just like go back to a certain date on the internet on a certain website and you could find it.
We're not, make this clear, we're not saying you should go out and find this video.
Please don't, unless if you're really disturbed.
But these types of things, they never really disappear.
Yeah.
And of course, after seeing this video, everybody, they were ticked off. They were upset. I mean, who wants to see 2 kittens killed? So people from all across the globe were expressing their disgust, and they banded together to try to figure out who this person was. Who was this hooded mystery man?
Green Arrow.
And that was it. They solved it just like that. It was that easy.
Everybody went home happy. It was just a Green Arrow. Had a hard day.
And so all of our keyboard detectives put on their trench coats, got their hats, got their magnifying glasses and notebooks.
Specifically fedoras and katanas.
And they were on the hunt for the Green Arrow.
We gotta catch this sick son of a...
And so they started dissecting every frame of the video, trying to find anything they could that would help them figure out, at the very least, where this video took place, because that would be the first step in discovering who did this.
And to my understanding, they tore that thing apart. They tore that video apart. They went down to looking where outlets, the shape of them, how they connect. In the Netflix documentary, they talk about looking at cigarette packaging because it's different everywhere else. They were noticing everything.
Well, and also they were looking at a vacuum, and they're like, we need to find what model of vacuum this is, and they were able to find it on a vacuum form.
Yeah. Another big thing when these types of videos pop up, people will try to find the original source and try to find the user uploaded it, or at the very least what website it was posted to, because websites have demographics, and so you can start to say, well, it is more likely this person comes from this place. And then putting together all those other pieces of evidence, from the vacuum to the outlets, they can really start pinpointing specific locations where this person did this crime.
Right.
So they began to dissect the video to locate this killer. Unfortunately, even with the ridiculous amount of effort they put into dissecting this video, they were unable to identify who the kitten killer was.
They even noticed in the background there was Russian voices that they were able to pinpoint that those voices were from a specific Russian sitcom or something like that. They could find the episode that it was playing.
That's just that amazes me. It's how... I don't know how they did it.
Some dude in Russia who loves that sitcom was just it's my time to shine, baby.
I got this, man.
Well, even doing that, they were not able to figure out who this person was. And a man named by John Green, which is unfortunate because they're looking for the Green Boy.
Yeah, oh, no.
See Green Arrow?
He quickly became a leader of the internet detectives, and he noticed something strange. Now, does anybody know, was John Green examined? Because typically it's not uncommon for these types of people, the type of person who would kill kittens and post that to the internet so people could see it, would also seem like the type of person I'm going to lead the investigation.
Well, so from my understanding, it was they banded together in a Facebook group, because that 2012, 2010? 2010,
yeah.
Facebook was bumping, dude. Mark Zuckerberg was just loving life. Now he's got problems. Anyways.
Well, he's a robot, so.
Yeah. Well, he can't love anything. He has no emotions. Anyways.
But to our knowledge, John Green was never really cross-examined to see if he...
So no, they didn't, but he was leading this group, and what would happen is people with obviously fake accounts would send messages to the group to just try to throw them off, just like trolls on the internet, goofing on them. And so I think they kind of fell under his lead because he was you're fake, you're fake, you're fake. So they just trusted the guy. Yeah, I don't think they examined him. And to my knowledge, he might have been using a fake name too.
I mean, I think in this...
He was, yeah.
It seems smart in this type of scenario. If someone is ballsy enough to post a video of them killing kittens on the internet, it's someone to be scared of, honestly.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And so John Green, he noticed something very strange. He finds the YouTube channel that the video was posted to, and he goes to that account that posted the video, and he goes to that account's liked videos. And there was only one video that this account had ever liked, and it was a trailer for the movie Catch Me If You Can.
The greatest movie about tag.
It's isn't there a movie called Tag?
That's the second greatest movie of tag.
But it became very clear that whoever posted this video was playing a game, and not a good game. The kids were dead. That was not the game. The game was Catch Me If You Can.
Also, this is very important that you'll want to keep in mind that he did that because he's obviously playing a game, but it's you'll notice as it goes on, he has an odd obsession with cinema, just in general. So that's something you want to pay attention to.
And so just like that, the chase reignited and people were once again reinvigorated to find out who this person was, because obviously they wanted to be chased, which means there's probably other clues out there.
Right.
So with that in mind, almost a full year goes by and nothing else happens. They can't find out any more clues. No more evidence shows up. The case is virtually cold at this point, right? After about a year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, so they've torn that original video into pieces, like literally, he had a wolf blanket on his bed, like those really cheesy ones with just a massive wolf head, right? Really cheesy. And they were able to trying to contact the guy who was selling them and stuff, and it led nowhere. So yeah, the case at that point was cold because they found the vacuum, led nowhere. Everything they were looking for led to nowhere.
Well, they narrowed it down to North America, but still, North America is a huge place.
Well, they narrowed it down to North America, and then the Russian.
Yeah, and then the Russian figure,
the voices, and then that's when they were like, "Crap, we don't know where we're looking."
But after about a year, this group of so-called detectives, their morale was really fading. And at that point, it's like, well, we're not going to find out who this is. There's no new information. We've done everything we can. And so they were just kind of giving up. And in classic sociopathic serial killer fashion, the person notices the case going cold and wanting more attention comes up with another video.
He's just like, oh gosh, I only uploaded one video and they can't find me. I guess I'm gonna have to do something else.
But in reality, right, that's the classic sign of a narcissist. Like they have to have the attention on them, and if people are starting to look away, they get upset and they have to act out again.
Yeah, they always have to reamp whatever they're doing.
And usually, yes, like Tyler just said, and usually it is worse than what they did before. So they kind of, I don't know, digress.
They kind of aggravate them. Maybe not aggravate, but aggro up, if that makes sense.
Aggro up. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. How many ways to aggro up? Yeah.
On December 2nd, 2011, another video surfaced. This video was titled Bath Time LOL. The video starts with the camera facing a full bathtub. The person recording holds a cat in front of the camera. The individual proceeds to put the cat in the bathtub and drown it. But that wasn't the only thing the kitten killer uploaded on December 2nd. The next video uploaded was titled Python Christmas Video. In this video, we see the same hooded man playing with yet another kitten. As the kitten plays on the same bed as the first video, we see a python enter the frame. Naturally, the python notices the kitten as its prey and eats it. We then see two pairs of hands enter frame and begin to pet the python. One pair is white, similar to that of the hooded figure. The other pair is brown. This is new because up to this point, we knew of one person,
right,
green hooded figure. But now we have confirmed two individuals interacting in these videos.
Do you know how much simpler would it have been if he would have, bath time LOL was literally just him naked in the bath? Sure, you didn't want to see him naked, but oh man.
No, he's naked from the bottom down, but he's still wearing that green hoodie.
I mean, even then, that would have been better than what he performed.
And then you notice, though, his feet are actually just a brown pair of hands. That's just one dude.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
The internet, obviously, once again, just taken by storm, starts analyzing this video, and they notice that the account that uploaded these recent videos was named Leslie Ann Downey. And Leslie Ann Downey, she was a victim of the Moors murders that took place in 1960s England. So this person clearly wants attention, and they're obviously obsessed with past killings.
Yeah, he's inspired by something here. Something's driving him.
Well, and the thing about the Moors murders, so the Moors murders were a couple, a girl and a boy, and they would hunt down little girls, sexually assault them, and then kill them. And this took place in England, so yeah, pretty scary stuff.
Yeah, so his idol is a very, very bad couple.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And to add to it, we have two people interacting in these murders. So who knows? Are they a couple? Are they friends? Is it a dude with two pairs of hands?
I think that's more scary.
What is that guy from Mortal Kombat?
Goro.
Yeah, it's Goro. It's just Goro.
Oh my gosh.
It's Goro and General Grievous.
What is it?
We noticed,
General Kenobi.
we noticed one pair of hands with 3 fingers on each hand, and another pair of hands robotic in nature.
Oh gosh.
Hello there.
I just had an awful thought of just like the kitten like, hello there. And then,
General Kenobi.
anyways, moving on.
So after these 2 videos spread across the internet almost like a plague, people are getting really upset because no law enforcement is getting involved. Now, I can kind of step back in viewing this from an outside perspective, see, well, it makes us they can't pinpoint where it's happening, so what law enforcement is going to get involved? Like, the FBI is the only one national that can really get into this, right?
But even then, they don't even know if it's from America.
Yeah.
It could be somewhere in Mexico.
So, like,
they know.
I can understand the outrage, but who is supposed to get in on this?
Well, so like the number one guy that was gonna help would have been the Green Arrow, but he's also their number one culprit.
Yeah, he's the number 1 suspect, but also the best detective they have.
What are you gonna do?
So a guy named Alex West heard the cries. Is it a woman?
No, Alex. No.
I saw Tyler mouthing something, and I thought he was like telling me I was wrong.
I was thinking Adam West.
I was like,
Batman?
Adam West. There we go.
Greatest detective!
But yeah, it's Alex West. I think he works for like the Sun magazine. Okay,
the Sun newspaper. So he saw this on the internet. He heard their pleas for help, and he's like, you know what? This is perfect. This is my time to shine. Let's get in on this. So the Sun newspaper had an article come out titled, "Catch the Sicko Who Fed a Kitten to a Python." After posting the article, Alex received an anonymous message stating that the man he was looking for is named Luka Magnotta.
Mm-hmm. Also, this is such a double-edged like sword. Like, this dude wants attention on a really popular newspaper. They're gonna make an article about him, but also like that's the only way you're gonna find him. It's crazy.
Yeah. And if he wanted to meet, he was staying at the Fazilier Inn. I don't really know how to say it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The Fazilier Inn in Wembley, northwest London. So naturally, Alex and his coworker headed straight for the inn to catch Luka off guard and confront him about the videos.
So I didn't do much digging on it. I read a little bit of the transcript of it, but I think there's supposed to be a video of their interaction. Like, so his coworker was filming from the distance, and I saw like screen captures from it, and he looks nervous. Luka does.
Luka looks nervous?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Alex was able to locate Luka at a local pub close to the Fazilier Inn. Alex approached Luka asking about the videos. Luka denied his involvement and told Alex that he was receiving death threats from people because they all believed it was him in the video. When Luka, he was claiming not to be involved at all, and so he was just scared because he was being blamed for something that he's claiming he didn't do, and people are threatening to kill him over it. That would freak anybody out.
Right. And there's also Luka went to, I think it was like an attorney or something, asking for help because he was getting death threats.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So he looked so innocent in that sense because he was trying to hide from people, but at the same time it's like, bro, you're killing kittens, you're gonna hide, you know?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So Alex kind of just chuckles and asks him, why would someone want to frame you?
Right.
And
like, where's the motive?
Yeah,
of
like
that?
where did they get you? What's the purpose of framing you? And obviously, if you're going to frame somebody, it's got to be at least semi-believable that person had the means to do what you're framing them for, or no one's going to buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
And at this point, Luka just shortly leaves the pub. 2 days after Alex met Luka, Alex received another anonymous message. This message stated that, next time you hear from me, it will be in a movie I'm producing that will save... Oh, sorry, I'm going to restate this. Next time you hear from me, it will be in a movie I am producing that will have some humans. Or have humans.
Scary.
I've seen a few movies with humans in it.
Yeah, like Monsters, Inc.
No. Toy Story.
Those guys are
Andy.
humans?
Actually, Boo is in that.
No, she's not a human, though.
Yes, she is. She's a human child.
Oh, man.
This message to Alex caused an uproar once again on the internet. And they were begging law enforcement to get involved before it's too late. I mean, whoever was doing this just said, basically, I'm going to kill some humans. Ta-da!
Right.
And law enforcement is still just like, well, why? But once again, what are they supposed to do? I guess at this point, they do at least have a city he was in. Could they not get in on this? Wembley?
I guess I think their only problem is they had no proof it was him. Right? So, like, they had no way of being like, oh, yeah, that was Luka in the video. Because the guy in the video has, like, really, not long, but, like, longer hair that kind of covers up the sides of his faces. And Luka, from the screen capture I saw when West confronted him, he had really short hair. Like, his structure, his nose and facial structure looked similar, but, like, that's not a lot to go off of.
Yeah.
And people were just begging and begging that somebody got involved to try to stop this before somebody got hurt. And then on May 25th, 2012, a video by the name of One Lunatic, One Ice Pick surfaced. This video begins with a man tied to a bed, barely moving, and heavy breathing. They seem to be unconscious, but obviously still alive. And then on the wall of the bedroom, there was a poster for the movie Casablanca. In the background, the song True Faith by New Order can be heard. The hooded man enters the frame and begins to repeatedly stab the unconscious man. Without going into too much detail, he basically just mutilates the man, stabbing him over 50 times with a makeshift ice pick.
Yeah, I didn't try to find the video, obviously. I did not want to see that. But from the description I was reading of the video, it's like 10 minutes long. And he cuts the dude's head off pretty much. It's pretty gruesome.
Well, it's also rumored, I don't know if this is true or not, but there was a small dog that they had, and he tried to get the dog to eat some of the cut off body parts.
Yeah, so the dude is just beyond gone mentally.
Yeah.
And at this point, obviously law enforcement, we now have a murder that everyone has seen. But once again, what we're saying, they don't know where to start. They don't know where this is. They don't know who it is. What police force even begins to start investigating this, no matter how much they want to. And that's kind of what they ran into, is they just didn't know where to start at all.
On a side note, what was the song that was playing again? It's something by
New Order.
Yeah,
True Faith.
True Faith. So that song is interesting because I've never seen American Psycho, but it's supposed to be in the opening scene of American Psycho. And American Psycho is just Christian Bale as a psychopath. So
serial killer.
He's got some good idols so far. Well, I love George W. He loves American Psycho Christian Bale.
Well, once again, just reinforcing his weird kind of obsession with the cinema. Through some impressive investigation done by our keyboard detectives, they were able to actually locate the apartment where Luka lived in through some of his old photographs.
So they freaking showed the amount of photos of stuff because they ended up Googling Luka Magnotta, and there was would you say hundreds of pages that were not really fans, but fan pages dedicated to Luka. That was this dude is making so many accounts to make himself look so popular and stuff.
Well, yeah, because I saw on a article that he had over 70 accounts or different pages on Facebook saying, Luka Magnotta, oh, he's so hot, and oh, he's so this.
And there was tons of montages of pictures of him on YouTube with, I think one of them was, what is it, New Faith or whatever, that song?
Yeah.
True Faith. That's in the background and stuff. So it's got that song in the background, and oddly enough, almost more than half the pictures of him were his head photoshopped onto other people to make it look like he was having a more fabulous life than he had.
Yeah.
And so with all of this, all these photos to give them things to look at and to investigate, they were able to locate his apartment, which was in Montreal, Canada. And if you know anything about Montreal, Canada, it's just a breeding ground for people who kill kittens.
I've never been there, but that might be true.
It's what I learned in geography.
Yeah, and so my honest question is, why did they look at Montreal first?
We got this place where they kill our kittens. Let's look everywhere else. That's too obvious.
Honestly, I think it's the maple syrup. They it's a lucre, and they're like, don't look at Montreal, and here's some good maple syrup.
Fair enough. I can't turn down some good maple syrup.
So noticing this crazy discovery made by the internet, an attorney contacted the Toronto Police Department and alerted them to the situation they had at hand. Unfortunately, they didn't take it very seriously and kind of just pushed it to the side. In a state of panic, the internet started sending the police the video of the murder that was posted online, and still nothing happened. Nothing seemed to get them to take the situation seriously. That was until Canada's Prime Minister received a package that contained a severed foot inside. And that's what it took. It took one very popular, powerful person to get involved, and finally the police departments are like, all right, we'll look into it.
Do you think he's a foot guy?
What if he ordered a foot off the black market or something, and
I thought this was supposed to be plastic.
His assistant opened it and he had to play it off like, oh no, a foot in a box, dang it.
He was just like, crap. He was buying it on Amazon and accidentally used the wrong address. He sent it to wherever the Prime Minister lives, like the government building.
Ah, shucks, dang it, I got a foot.
I got a foot. I wanted the hand.
I was a little upset because I didn't have it on Prime, but...
Oh, man.
And so this all brings us back to May 29th, 2012, where the janitor finds a mutilated torso in a suitcase by a dumpster. He calls the police, who report to the scene and begin to investigate. The police notice a brown liquid kind of flowing underneath the dumpster. Upon further investigation, they were able to find articles of clothing, a knife,
2 gallons of chocolate milk.
The Nesquik bunny?
Oh my gosh, did they kill the Nesquik bunny?
Yes, they did.
A homemade ice pick, blood-soaked sheets, a Casablanca poster, and last but not least, an ID for who but Luka Magnotta.
Is this guy like retarded? Like... Honestly,
it's actually...
Do you think he's just doing that to play with people, or is he just accidentally overlooked it?
Okay, it's his fault. He killed someone, but it wasn't his fault he got caught, because I can't remember if there was a reason, but the garbage hadn't been picked up for like 2 weeks past its scheduled time, so it was just stench. It was building up and it was leaking. It was just luck that they didn't take the garbage.
Yeah, well, so because they noticed the liquid leaking from the dumpster, and they searched the dumpster and they found all the stuff. So if anything, he was smart, but for whatever reason, the social services in Canada just decided not to work for 2 weeks and didn't pick up the dumpster.
Jimmy had a hard time with his maple syrup addiction. He didn't show up.
I do know though, depending on how big the dumpster was, I'm guessing. Well, here's the thing. Do you guys know? Did he pick a smaller, out of the way location, or was this like a really popular area?
It was a big apartment complex, and it shows in the documentary him throwing away, because they have a video camera where they dump their trash, and it shows him with like 2 black plastic bags throwing them away, and it was like just a regular trash can.
Yeah.
Well, so I think what it was is it was a trash can that the janitor then wheels out to the dumpster in the alleyway.
Because I was just wondering, I know some places they don't fill up their dumpster as quickly, and so they only get it picked up by request.
I think it was the janitor who, like, when they were asking about it, he was like, the only reason I opened the suitcase was because it had been there for so long. He was like, why is this still here?
Yeah.
He was trying to find some CDs.
He was really looking for that 2003 Fall Out Boy album.
Oh, I'm still looking for that.
He was looking, I know what he was looking for. He was looking for one of those E.T. games, the ones that are buried out in the New Mexico desert. Ooh. He heard rumors.
There's one in Montreal.
And so he was on the look, and he found the next best thing. And to no surprise, the police, obviously, they find this ID, and they head straight for Luka's apartment.
Actually, so sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
The odd thing is they went to Luka's apartment, but their first guess was that was Luka's body.
They thought it was him. Oh, that's when he killed him.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, his ID's there, a body's there, and like things.
Right. It seems like, why would you leave your ID as a killer in the garbage can?
Yeah. It seems like too good to be true. It's like the perfect piece of evidence.
Yeah.
It's like the golden ticket of finding a serial killer. You find his ID card at the scene of a crime.
Is that
With directions to his house and how to get into it and like his phone number to call him.
Is Willy Wonka a serial killer?
He left an iPhone there with a Find My iPhone button hooked up to the iPhone he was carrying on his person so they could just find him. Yes, it was the golden ticket.
And 2 gallons of chocolate milk. It couldn't be a better day.
It was the best day. And so they go straight to his apartment, and this thing is completely cleaned out. And there is no evidence that Luka really ever lived there other than the records that he obviously had lived there.
Well, and also they notice like the chemical smell coming from his apartment. It's like, wow, it's like, this guy cleaned, man.
So there was one part where the only thing left was like there was like sheets on the bed and stuff, but the only thing left was a bottle of lemon juice. Like, I don't know if that was supposed to be, like, a thing, like, for his chase, his story that he was building. Was that supposed, like...
Oh, yeah, he was just showing he's edgy. He's like, guys, I'm too hardcore to drink regular lemonade.
So I'm thinking, since he has an obsession with cinema, it's hinting at national treasure. You can find him stealing the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, my gosh, he's going for our nation's greatest piece of paper.
Yeah.
The Declaration. I can't even speak. I'll just say the U.S. Constitution.
And so naturally, after finding the lemon juice, the first person they go for is Nicolas Cage. Because he's the number one suspect now.
Well, he's a vampire. I mean, he's like a 500-year-old man.
He's also was Superman for one screen test. How are you going to stop this guy?
He was Superman?
Yeah.
He was also Ghost Rider, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you not know that Tim
didn't know
Burton
he
was
was-
going to make a Superman starring Nicolas Cage? Look up the screen test. It's awful looking. Anyways, you can't stop Nicolas Cage.
And so they just gave up, and that's it. The case is over. Thanks for entering the crypt with us. So they took the body in for DNA testing because they're like, well, is this Luka or is this somebody else? And they start to get video footage from the apartment complex. And what they see is they say Luka entered the apartment complex with another person. And then over the night, over several hours after he entered, he makes more than 20 trips to the garbage facility.
Another odd thing that they noted was, and I don't know why he would do this, but he was wearing the shirt of the guy he killed.
It was a pretty nice shirt.
It was like neon yellow. Like, it's like if you're gonna find the guy, why would he put on a neon yellow shirt if he's trying to hide?
So two men enter apartment, one man exit the apartment wearing the shirt of the other man. And to our knowledge, the other man is never seen again. We can assume with all this, obviously with all the garbage he's taking out, there's obviously, that's part of it.
There's also a moment, I don't know if you're about to hit this or not, but he goes out the front door wearing the guy's shirt with something you can't tell, but he has something in hand, and he goes up to a car and he gives it to somebody. And then...
Well, hey, hold on. Can we also point out that when he does this, is he wearing a wig?
That's what they think.
Really? Yeah.
Oh.
Because his hair is short. When he gets interviewed by the West guy, his hair is like almost buzzed.
Well, also quick, this is a sidetrack, but Luka in the past has been arrested for impersonating a woman. Like, he dressed up as a woman, used a credit card to purchase $10,000 of, I don't know, who knows what, but he got arrested for impersonating a woman.
Wait, he got he got arrested for impersonating a woman?
Oh, no. Not, well, yes, but no.
Yes and no.
Well, they were like, oh man, $10,000. Wait a second, you're not a girl, you're going to jail.
Yeah. And so, but like Christopher just said, so he exits the apartment wearing a wig, takes some object to a car, hands it to the person in the car, and then they part their ways, and we never find out anything else about this. My guess is it would seem like this is probably the other person who's been in the videos.
I was thinking it was like the video of him killing the person, and so it's like a snuff video.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
He sold it to a dude, and that may be the guy with the python. We don't know.
Do we also know? Could Luka I mean, he's not dumb. Like, he does take pretty crazy precautions with what he does. Do you think he has somebody else upload his videos for him, or multiple people that he pays to upload these videos for him?
Honestly, he might. I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, so also there's the creepiest thing to me about the whole situation, beyond him murdering somebody, is after he does this, he doesn't look nervous, and when he comes back in, he doesn't just go straight back to the apartment. He stops and looks at himself in a mirror at the very front of the apartment complex for like a good 30 seconds fixing his wig. Like, he's obviously very self-obsessed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, classic narcissist. And so while the autopsy was being conducted, police received a tip on who the body they found in the suitcase might belong to. A man by the name of June Lin was reported missing by his boss because June did not show up for his shift for work. June Lin was last seen on May 24th, 2012, and some of June's friends said they'd been texting June that night, but they did not hear back from him after 9 p.m. After the DNA test had been run and the autopsy report came back, it was confirmed that the body belonged to June Lin, and Luka's DNA was all over the murder weapons. So this is now they know who they're looking for. The body was not Luka, and they know who killed June Lin.
Right. There's only one way this can go at this point.
It was Green Arrow.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Still unsure of where Luka had gone, the police immediately went to Luka's mother's home in hopes to get some information of where he was, or maybe he was there. When they visited the home and asked for Luka, Luka's mother asked, "Is it about the cat videos?" This lady knew about the cat videos and did nothing because it was her son.
Yeah, she's... In the documentary, she looks kind of crazy, to be honest.
Oh, they interview her.
Yeah, they interview her, and she goes,
Yeah.
"It's not my boy. It's
Yeah.
not my boy."
She so it's interesting because so she says she finds out about the videos, and she talks to Luka about it, and Luka is like, "I can't stop. I'm in deep with a guy named Manny who's forcing me to do these things. Like, if I stop, he'll come hurt you." And pretty much, he's like, "I don't have a choice. Like, this guy named Manny is forcing me to do these things." And we're assuming, like Tyler said, snuff videos, selling them, whatever.
And to be fair, in her defense, this is a pretty common occurrence with the mothers of serial killers. A lot of times, even to this day, like you can go find footage on some of the most popular serial killers, and they've interviewed their moms, and they will avidly deny that their kid did those things, even though there is more than enough hard evidence and proof that they did. They will deny it till the day they die. And honestly, can you blame them? Like, trying to accept that your kid did something like that?
Well, I mean, and his mom, so a little backstory. So Luka's dad divorced his mom when he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and she took that really hard, and Luka was constantly bullied as a kid, and so she's like overly protected about Luka.
Well, and you, as a parent, I think you would blame yourself, even though it's nothing to do with you. You would blame yourself for what they did, at least partially.
Also, real quick, another thing with the Manny, when Luka went and talked to the attorney earlier that I mentioned, where he was saying he was getting death threats and he needs help, he mentioned to this attorney that a man by the name of Manny is running the operation. Yeah.
So the police, they search the house. They confirm that Luka is not there and hasn't been there recently. And unable to locate Luka, the Canadian police notified Interpol about the murderer who is now on the run. And they started tracking Luka Magnotta's activity, and they found Luka had bought a plane ticket to Paris. So without skipping a beat, the Paris police force, I guess, they take this manhunt very seriously, and they begin immediately looking for Luka. The Paris police were able to track Luka's cellular signal to a hotel in Bagnolet.
That's where they sell baguettes, and it's a hotel room where you sleep on baguettes.
And the hotel is just a big baguette.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to sleep in a baguette?
Me?
Why?
I like to sleep on a tortilla.
So basically, this is like the eastern suburbs of Paris. But they were too late. Luke had already left, and he was supposedly jumping on a train headed to Berlin, Germany. Luka made it to Berlin, but it didn't take law enforcement long to catch up with him. Because at this point, everyone knows what's going on. They are communicating, and they are waiting.
Yeah, once you get on Interpol, good luck.
Good luck.
It's a really good band, by the way, if you haven't heard it. They're great.
So on June 4th, 2012, the Berlin police received a call from an internet cafe owner, and the owner of the internet cafe believed Luka was in the cafe looking himself up on Interpol's website.
He's like, dang, I wish they got the other picture.
I wish they would have chosen the one where they photoshopped me onto Zac Efron's body from High School Musical 3. That would have been really cool.
So I have been to a lot of internet cafes in Berlin, and they're just like breeding grounds for seedy like people and things to happen. It was our only access to computers at the time we were there, and it's just like I hated being there, and I felt gross, and I wanted to chop off my hands every time I used the computer to get a new pair because I didn't think I could clean them enough.
They sell bleach and knives at the front, so you could cut them off just in case.
They were just they were weird and seedy and gross, and I'm not surprised that's where he ended up. I'm surprised though that somebody there reported him. That's what I'm
It was
surprised.
the owner. So it was the owner.
Yeah. But I mean, to be in his defense, that is the best place to go because there is no link to you. Like now, if you go to these internet cafes a lot, you can make an account. Oh, yeah. But most of these times, you just like pay them a couple dollars or euro in the sense, and they're like, okay, have an hour on the computer. It signs in, and then after an hour, it signs you out. So like, unless you're a frequent visitor, there is no connection to you there.
No, they never ask for your name. They never like take down any personal information.
But the honest thing for me is he has to know. Well, he does. He's looking himself up. He knows they're looking for him. Why is he going to big cities?
Well, but there's a lot of
there's
people.
a lot of people.
So it's easier to hide.
No, but like he's like going out and about.
I would think you go to a really small city. There's a lot of really small cities in Germany. Go hide out there. They have internet cafes as well, and no one's going to be looking for you.
Even if you are in a big city, don't go out frequently because it sounds like he was constantly out and about.
I think he just loves the chase.
I'm just honestly curious how they caught him at the internet cafe because they don't really have rules on what you can do, and most of the time your computer is situated in a way where it's private to like, they've got like borders on the side, or you can even rent out private little rooms if you're really nervous about what you're doing on the computers.
So you can look up and see the footage of the internet cafe and stuff. The guy instantly recognized him. Oh. And so he was unsure. So he obviously was like, is that really the guy who murdered someone?
Yeah.
And so what he did is he walked through the aisle Luka was on, grabbing the garbages and looked to see what he was looking at real quick, and it was himself.
Makes sense. Yeah. And so they obviously he calls up, he's like, this is kind of weird, but I think Luka is in my thing looking himself off on my computer. So the police show up and they immediately arrest Luka.
And it wasn't like a few police. It was like all the police.
It was like their SWAT team. I mean, like they show the video of them like grabbing him, and there's like 6-7 dudes, just
like
big
full
dudes.
outfits on.
I'm gonna tell you, I've seen these cops in Germany, and most of the time they are big guys. I watched a police officer body slam his German Shepherd in a train station because it wasn't listening to him. It was like barking at passengers, and he couldn't get it to obey, and he literally body slammed it.
And then they shared a bratwurst afterwards to make up for it.
The dog listened to him after that. And so in one last fleeting attempt to get away, Luka starts giving out fake names. Like, I'm not who you think I am, but your fingerprints can't lie, buddy.
I'm George Clooney.
I'm Nicolas Cage.
You don't recognize me from Green Arrow?
I'm from National Treasure.
There was enough evidence that Berlin's law enforcement held Luka until June 18th when Canadian officials picked him up and flew him back to Canada. In court, under the advice of his lawyer, Luka pleaded not guilty to the charges. They claimed Luka's mental state is to blame for the murders, but in fact, Luka was not fully in control to be able to conduct these crimes.
Which, I mean,
kind of like a plea of insanity.
Right, yes. Yeah. So, he was diagnosed with a ton of stuff.
Multiple personality disorder, schizophrenia, narcissistic personality disorder.
Yeah, just everything that led up to what happened. It like all makes sense.
Well, he had all of the ingredients to make a serial killer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I have all the ingredients to make a cake.
Can we make a cake?
No.
He just made you an egg sandwich. Be grateful.
I mean, it was a good egg sandwich.
You're welcome.
After the 12-week trial was adjourned, Luka was found guilty of first-degree murder, placing him in prison with a life sentence. After all of this, the internet finally got to relax as their kitten killer was convicted and sentenced for life. But, and a big but.
The biggest butt.
Big booty.
Well, I can't claim how large the butt is in comparison to other butts, but this is like quite a large butt.
Yeah, Tyler's butt is eh. Aaron's butt is eh. My butt is eh.
On the Thickum scale, this butt is a solid 7.
7 thicks.
Wow.
No, this is the question though. So yes, Luka was caught. Congratulations. What was the object he took out? Who did he give it to? Who were the second pair of hands in that video? Was this person... What was his
Manny?
name? Manny? Was he real? I mean, there is so much... And, like, these aren't just things to speculate about. Like, these are real things that happened, and we don't have anything about it. Like, we know, at least for a fact... Okay, we could, like, try to push away. Maybe whoever was in that car, whoever handed him, was completely harmless and not connected at all. Even if that's the case, we had a second pair of hands in the Python video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
We had a second pair of hands, and we're pretty confident it gets blurry, the footage, but we're pretty confident he gives something to someone in a car.
Yeah. Well, so I was saying, even with the car thing, at the very, benefit of the doubt, you could say, oh, it was completely harmless and unrelated to the murder. Even if that's the case, we have a confirmed second individual in the Python Christmas video. Meaning we have at the very, very least one other person who was involved in all of this, or at least part of it, and there's nothing on them. In fact, does the internet, are they still looking? Did they just give up?
Here's the weirdest thing, is me and Tyler did some research. People ask about it. Nobody talks about it, though.
No.
Nobody.
They're just like, yeah, it could be someone else, but that's it. They don't ever, dive deep into it.
Could be. They had different color hands.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there was 4. Even General Grievous has the same colored hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, I'm gonna talk about Manny for a second here. I'm gonna go on a little side story. So when they're interviewing Luka's mom, she is, she's defending him and she's showing how sweet he is. Right? It's her baby, right? Like, you can't blame her. She shows that he had made her a keychain from the movie Basic Instinct. So he's had a love for cinema forever, right? They were able to find that he had auditioned for some bachelor type show for Canada and stuff. So he wanted to be famous. He wanted to be on TV. He wanted to be in movies.
Well, that was his first love in life, is acting. He wanted to be an actor.
Yeah, and so during Luka's great escape, when he was booking a hotel, he used the alias of Kirk Trammell. Well, obviously, he's not going to use Luka Magnotta if Interpol's looking for him. And coincidentally enough, Kirk Trammell is just a male version of the name Catherine Trammell from the movie Basic Instinct. And Manny is Manuel Vasquez from Basic Instinct. So he is definitely making someone up, but I guess he's giving someone a nickname. There could still someone be involved.
Yeah, there's an A-list. And honestly, this is the thing. He is, they confirmed that he had narcissistic personality disorder, meaning he is not the type of person to try to push the blame on somebody else because he wants the credit. Meaning if he is claiming there is somebody else involved, there probably really is someone else involved because he does want the credit. He is going to claim he did everything if it means it makes him more famous. He's not going to make up somebody to take the blame for him unless there's someone who really exists.
Also, so he didn't succeed. He didn't get on the TV show or anything. So obviously, this for him was like, I'm going to live my life as a movie, and you guys are going to watch it happen, and I'm going to get all the attention a movie star is going to get. And that's all he wants, because oddly enough, in Basic Instinct, the main actress kills someone else with an ice pick.
Yeah.
Which is what he used in that video.
Well, yeah, like if you compare the footage with one, was it Lunatic and one ice pick?
Yeah.
I know, Tyler, you said it was your favorite video, didn't you? Or was
No, that was the kittens.
I like kittens. You compare that video with the murder scene in Basic Instinct, it's very, very similar.
No.
So, and also, there's footage from when the cops have him and they're like talking to him about it. They're like, look, we know it was you. There's nothing you can do. He crosses his legs and asks for a cigarette, which is identical to the interrogation scene in Basic Instinct.
Yeah.
Like, he is literally living in a movie in his head.
Yeah. Ooh, should I tell Tyler about the Bitcoin time traveler?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I hate Bitcoin.
No, listen to this.
This was unrelated to what we were looking up at all.
Let me tell the story here. Okay. So on Reddit, this guy makes a post about Bitcoin, and he's claiming to be a time traveler. And so he's like making up all of this. I'm not gonna get into it. You can go look up if you want like the details of what he talked about. It honestly would be like a mini episode on its own. Yeah. But he basically like predicts a bunch of like things that are gonna happen in the future, especially how it revolves around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And people are like, whatever, that's cool, dude, but like, you're not a time traveler. You're just a dude making stuff up, making predictions, as cool or uncool or educated they might be. You're not a time traveler. The account gets deleted. The post kind of just dies after that because the account's deleted. And then, like, do you remember how long? It was like a year? It was a long time later. The post gets updated. Like, they edit the main post. But the account was deleted. And you can't do that. And it edits it and like adds some more information on. People are like, holy crap! Is this guy a time traveler? Like legit, he just edited a post where his account was deleted, and everyone was like, it was really weird. You can honestly go look at it. It's a big long thing. I was reading in on it, and they just nonchalantly like mentioned the name of the original account that had posted it, and it was Luka Magnotta.
Yeah, this was in the midst of doing our research for this episode.
Yeah, it had. Yeah.
Nothing to do with what we were doing.
The article has nothing to do with him either. It just mentions, oh, by the way, this was the name of the account that did it. And it doesn't mention anything else about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was just really weird.
We'll have to do an episode on that.
It was really strange. But other than that, I mean, that's the story of Luka.
Yeah, so...
And it's honestly, as I'm going to say, partially solved. I'm going to say there's still at the very least, one other dude out there.
I mean, honestly, I think, it's partially solved, and I think, there's like an extra dude, like, somehow in all of this.
Well, what's a little scary is if this, this Netflix thing stays popular, he may be riding high on that, but if the popularity starts to die, we may get another video.
So, before we close this out, I want to go around the table. Who do you guys think this guy is? The second person, because they obviously are involved. So who are they?
Are you talking about the hands in the Python video?
Yeah. Do you think that that's the same person as the person in the car? Like, what do you think? What's your theory? Pretty much, I want to spark a fire that we figure out who is helping him, dude.
Honestly, I mean, they could be connected, the Python dude and the person who he gives the whatever to in the car. But yeah, I think there might be a connection. There might not. But I think he definitely has a snuff film of the killing.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the person in the car and the additional pair of hands are the same person. That seems likely. It would also seem likely that he could have just been wrapped up in a snuff film ring. Right? So there could be a lot more people involved. And you get that kind of organization, you can't rat it out.
No. Because
then you're the next snuff film.
So I was reading that he met, what was the kid's name who got killed? Jun Lee. Jun Lee?
Yeah.
That they met each other on Craigslist. And so I bet he got wrapped up with someone on Craigslist. Like that's how we got the python. So I think that it would, it's just a circle that he's involved in.
Well, okay, and to be fair, the Python video, as bad as it is, it was kittens, okay? I mean, that's terrible, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's okay, but it seems much more likely you could find somebody out there who's willing to let their Python eat a kitten on video, as opposed to, like, involving someone in killing an actual person. So it could be that this person who had the Python, as messed up they are letting their Python eat a kitten, isn't necessarily the type of person who also kill a human. Like,
yeah, there's a line somewhere.
That could be on another assumption. He could have just found somebody who was willing to take the money to let a python eat a kitten on video.
Well, because so I looked up the python, and it's called a Burmesian like python from Burma, and I was looking like online, and they sell them for like $1,000 to $2,000.
Oh yeah, those things aren't cheap.
Yeah,
but people own them.
Oh yeah,
so that seems more likely that he found somebody who was just willing to like film their python eating a kitten because they like watching animals die, and that person may have no connection at all to the rest of the crimes. That's all. That's a potential.
Yeah.
I don't know though. It's hard to say. I'm gonna say simply because you don't see the person ever again. Like, I'm gonna say maybe they were just a python video and they disappear after that.
Yeah, Luka likes to use Craigslist a lot.
Gets couches.
Nice couches.
Well, anything else?
I think that's it.
So we're gonna lock this. Well, we're gonna kind of lock this one in the crypt. Half of it.
Half lock.
Well, yeah, we'll save the key on this one.
What we're gonna do? We're gonna do one of those little contraptions where we tie a string around the finger connected to a bell up top, so that if it's not done, they can ring the bell and go dig them up.
Hey, you all right in here?
Ring, 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 ring.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, and so on that note, we're gonna leave you with a little good night kiss-a-roo. This good night kiss is sponsored by Tyler. Thank you, and good night.
Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Crispy Chris reporting in from the crypt, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. You guys are so great, you little ghosts and goblins. It means so much to us. Share our episodes on social media because we're hip and we use that crap. So we got Instagram, we got Twitter. I don't know if any cool kids use Facebook anymore because we certainly don't, but we got Reddit. We want to try to start Twitch streaming, so we got a Twitch channel with nothing on it, but we're going to use it. I also really wanted to take this time to announce something new we got going on. I'm going to start hosting my very own episodes. These ones are going to be shorter, a little bit sweeter, a little bit more savory. They're going to be more focused on pop culture horrors. So we're going to do like Hollywood movies, anything pop culture, anything hip and scary. So if there is anything you guys want us to cover, just let us know. Leave a comment, message us on Instagram, share our post. I don't freaking know, but we just appreciate you so much. Have a good night.